Hello everyone and welcome to Anup Kelkar's Python Academy. So my name is Mr. Vishal Sathone and today I am going to discuss a case study of COVID-19 in India using the regression analysis. Okay, so I hope you gone through my video lectures about the machine learning which I previously posted on our YouTube channel. Okay, so I suggest a student before going to this lecture first visit to our YouTube channel, that is Anup Kelkar's Python Academy, and just visit those two lectures about the machine learning that I have posted. If you haven't seen those two lectures, then you will not get idea about the machine learning and what we are going to do today. Okay, so basically the focus of this video is all about the case study. Okay, so we are going to do a live coding today about the COVID-19 predictions in India. Okay, so the content of this presentation, or the you can say that a video, is what is machine learning, that we already discussed in our previous video, but still we see the definition. Okay, then how machine learning works, types of machine learning, and then we need to discuss our first algorithm, that is a linear regression algorithm. Okay, so basically what is machine learning? Machine learning works on the development of a computer program that can access data and use it automatically, learn and improve from the experience. So data is very important part if you want to do a machine learning. So that's why we need to also perform a coding on that data so that we can make a machine learning model for our future prediction. Okay, so how does the machine learning works? This is also a very good slide to see how machine learning works in day-to-day life. Okay, so like training data you have, so you gave that data to the machine learning model, then your algorithm processed it and perform a, or you can say that create a one machine learning model. Okay, so and if you are giving a new input data, then you will get what? The prediction. That prediction might be a okay or not okay for you. Then if the prediction is not okay for you, then you can retrain your model and your model efficiency will get increased day by day as you giving a data to that model. Okay, so next thing is types of machine learning. This is also very good explained in my previous video lectures, but still here we need to see the short description about it. So supervised learning contain two approaches. One is classification and second is regression, whereas unsupervised learning we need to consider two approaches here: association and then clustering, and third thing is reinforcement learning. Okay, so where we take an experience and from that experience we learn our model. Okay, so basically the main part of this video is all about the supervised learning, because whatever the algorithm we are going to discuss today, that rely on the supervised learning. Okay, so basically we are focusing on regression analysis today, so that we need to understand what is meant by regression. Okay, so basically here you can see there are three examples are written: weather forecasting, risk assessment, and score prediction. So you can see the data in all these three application is in a contiguous manner. Okay, or you can say that a time series manner. Okay, so you are having a time and you are having a means like output on that day. Okay, in the weather forecasting also you might have last 3 years or 50 years of data on what is happening on that day, that is also recorded in your data. Okay, so you can use those data to predict what will happen, okay, on the on next month or on the next 2 months. Okay, so that you can easily predict. Okay, so like that, here also this is the complete means like definition how the supervised learning is working. Machine learning model learns from the past input data and makes the future prediction. Okay, so like see this is the data where you know the date, you know the rainfall on that date, you know the sunrise sunset on that date, you know the temperature on that day. Okay, so if you have this data about last 50 years, then you can give that data to your model will generate, and if you are giving a new date to your model, then you can easily predict that is there a possibility of rain or not on that day. Okay, so the main thing about the supervised learning that we need to understand is your data is a labeled data. Okay, so whatever the data you are giving, that is known to you. Okay, means this is the date, this is the rainfall, this is the sunset sunrise, this is the temperature, that all things is known. Okay, that's why you can easily perform a supervised learning. Okay, so let's here see here we need to focus on the more on the algorithm part. Okay, so today we are going to discuss a linear regression approach, or you can say that linear regression algorithm. Okay, so first of all we need to see what is meant by regression analysis. Okay, so regression analysis is the form of predictive modeling techniques which investigate the relationship between independent and dependent variables. Okay, so what is meant by independent variables, what is meant by dependent variables, that is very well explained in my machine learning lectures. So I request you to visit those lecture first, after that move to this lecture. Okay, otherwise you will not get idea about what is dependent and what is independent. Okay, and I don't want to explain it again. Okay, and next so what regression analysis does, it will find the relationship between the dependent and independent variables. Okay, so generally we called it as the x and y variables. Okay, so x are the independent variables and y are the dependent variables, and you need to find the relationship between it. Okay, so linear regression approach definitely finds the strength of the relationship. It will forecast the effect. Okay, so what will be happen after 10 days or 20 days, you can easily predict. Okay, and you can find the trends, what is the trend of your data. Okay, so it will increase or decrease, that you can find easily using the linear regression. Okay, so see this example, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Generally we put dependent data or dependent variable on y-axis and independent variable in the x-axis. Okay, and you will get what, this is the line, this line called it as a regression line. Okay, so you might be familiar with this expression, y is equals to mx plus c. Okay, so what does it mean? It is the equation of a line. Okay, here x and y are the coordinates, and m is the slope of this line, and c is the constant value. You can see here this is the constant value. Okay, this portion you called it as a constant value. Okay, so this is the equation of a line, and you need to means find this equation, or you need to solve this equation to get this line. Okay, so basically the mathematician can draw this line using this equation, where x have a number of points, or y is also having a number of points. Okay, there are two types of regression line. So first line you called it as a positive regression, and second line you called it as a negative regression. I will give you the example of what is meant by positive regression and what is meant by negative regression in the next slide. Okay, so see this, if you have this equation, speed is equals to distance upon time. Okay, now if you want to plot the graph among the speed and the distance, here your time is constant. So you know what is the relationship between the speed and the distance, and that relationship is shown by this line. Basically the regression analysis is doing the same thing. So now speed and distance, if you plot this, now see, you can see that if you increase the speed, okay, then you can cover a maximum distance, or you can cover a distance, the distance you covered is increases. Okay, if the time is constant. Okay, so this is the relationship between the speed and the time, and that will easily you can understand using this line. Okay, if speed increases, your distance is also increases if the time is constant. Okay, see the next example. Here the distance is constant now, and speed and the time, if you want to find the relationship between these, so this line definitely can help you. Okay, so what is the relation between speed and time if the distance is constant? If you increase the speed, you need to take less time to reach your destination. Okay, so that's why you will get this negative regression line. Okay, and what is the you can say that the equation of this line is y is equals to minus mx plus c. Why minus m? Because now you are getting a slope in negative. Okay, so this is what you can find the relation using the linear regression. Okay, so this is the one example where I draw a random points, and from these points I draw this line. Okay, basically the equation of this line is y is equals to mx plus c. Now how you can draw this line? Okay, so see this, you need to calculate the m, means if you are a mathematician, then by the pen and paper you need to find out this m. Okay, so how you can find this m? You just need to take a summation of xi minus xm yi minus ym divided by summation of xi minus xm to whole square. Okay, now these xi contain all the x points or the x coordinates, and the y is all the y coordinates, okay, of all the points. Okay, you need to take a summation here. After that you will get this m. What is this xm? Xm means mean of all the x values. Ym means mean value of all the y values. Okay, so this is the formula. You can note down this formula. Okay, now you need to think what this line is represents. Okay, this line will give you the error. Okay, means your point, actual point is here, and your line is passing through these coordinates, then this distance you called it as a error distance. Okay, in with this point, this distance is error distance. For this point, this distance is error distance, because after applying the formula you will get this line, and this line is passing some other points. Okay, and where your actual points are different. Okay, so what is your target or what is your aim is to draw this line with a minimum error rate. Okay, with a minimum error rate. Okay, so what is meant by minimum error means if you add these all these error, then you will get the minimum error, minimum possible error. Okay, you can draw this line here also, but in that case your error is maximum, or you can find a very huge error. So you need to draw this line in such a way that your error is very less. So you have a mathematical approach also, so you can find m and then you can draw this line. Otherwise you can take a support of your computer. So how the computers are working, that we need to understand. Basically computers are working with the gradient search approach. What is mean by gradient search approach? Okay, so in the gradient search approach, computer will perform a number of iteration. Okay, with the different m values. Means this line computer drawn using a different m values. Okay, that m values might be a in the difference of 0.001 or anything. Okay, means number of means hundred, thousands or lakh of iteration you need to perform to get this line. Okay, so what is the benefit if you draw this line using all the possible combinations of m, or you can find this line with the help of all the possible values of m, then you will definitely get a single line where the error is minimum. Okay, means if you try to draw this line from here like this, so in some instance you will get a minimum error, and you need to fix that line for your further calculations. Okay, so we called it as a best fit line, which is having a minimum error. Okay, so you got my point. what is meant by gradient search. Okay, you can draw this line by mathematics also, but if you have a computer, then you can easily use this approach, gradient search approach. Okay, so basically linear regression algorithm internally uses this approach, gradient search approach, okay, to draw this line. Now next thing is, if you draw this line and if you create your model, then the next task is to find out the efficiency of your model, and for that we need to use a method which calculate the efficiency of our model. So here we need to discuss a R square method. Okay, so in the R square method you need to give a y predicted value and the y original value as well as a y mean value. What is mean by y? Y means a dependent variable value. Okay, so after this model you need to check that your model is working great or poor. For that you need to predict some values. Okay, so that values you need to pass here in yp. Okay, that predicted values might be a set of values, that's why you need to do summation. Okay, not a single value, so that predicted values might be a set of values. Okay, minus y mean value. Okay, so you need to take a mean of all the y values and then you need to perform this operation. This is the y original value. Okay, so here you need to give, or here you need to put your predicted values. That predicted values might be you might be get from this model, and these are the y original value. For the testing purpose or to find the efficiency of your model, you need to give some original values to your model. Okay, and again y minus ym, this is the mean value, and you need to apply this formula. This will give you the R square. Okay, so this is the basically R square method. Okay, and this will give you the efficiency of your model. So you can categorize your model in three parts. First is good, a second moderate, or third is bad. So generally if your efficiency is near to 1, okay, so then you can say that your model is good. Okay, and if your efficiency is lies in between 0.6 to 1, then your model is a somewhat moderate model. Okay, and if your efficiency is less than 0.6, then you can directly categorize your approach as a bad approach. Okay, so you need to go to some different algorithm. Okay, so in the COVID-19 project we need to use this linear regression approach to find out what will be the scenario after 10 days or 20 days. Okay, that we need to find out. So let's have a coding now. So for that you need to switch to some Google, okay, to download a data set. For this COVID-19 project we need to download the data set for our project. Okay, and for that we are using a dashboard which is not a government dashboard, but still it is good to have a data from this website. Okay, so we are getting this data from covid19india.org. Okay, so you just click on this website and you can find this is your dashboard. Okay, so in this dashboard they create a very good dashboard where you can find the state reports and everything. Okay, so what is the confirmed cases, active cases, recruit cases, and the whatever the disease happen. Okay, now for our database we need to click on this crowdsource patient database. Okay, so this button is available at the bottom of this website. You just need to click on this website, and then what you need to do, you can find the databases here. Okay, so JSON databases are here, but we need to perform our task using a CSV file. That's why we click on this website where you will get a Google Sheet about the data. Okay, so just click on that site Now here there are different databases are available about raw data, then patients information, everything is available on this website. But we need to download a time series data. Okay, so see here there is a one option, case time series data. So to download this data you need to just copy this link and paste it on your browser. Okay, so automatically your data will get download. See here your download is done. Okay, just click on this data. And before going to a project machine learning thing, first of all we need to clean this data. Okay, so this data might contain excess data also, or not required data for our project. So first of all we need to clean this data. Okay, so I just want to tell you, just I am doing the cleaning here only. Okay, you can perform this cleaning using coding also, but that will take time. So I will give you a very simple method so that you can clean your data within Excel. Okay, and then you directly pass this Excel file to your project so that you need not to do that much coding. Okay, so first of all see here you have these columns contain a daily confirmed cases, daily confirmed confirmed cases in the India on particular date. Okay. Also, you can find daily recovered patient data, so total recovered, daily deceased, or total. Okay. Now, using this project, you can predict whatever the disease happen after the 10 days. You can predict how much recovery will happen after the 10 days. But for this project we take the example of the confirmed cases. Okay, so how many cases we will get after 10 days or 20 days. Okay, so that we need to analyze, so that this recovered data or the disease data is the unnecessary part for our project. That's why I delete these columns from this data. Okay, now delete this data. Okay, so now we need to deal with only the confirmed cases and the total confirmed cases. This will give you the daily confirmed cases, this will give you the total confirmed cases. Okay, means the total addition of all the cases. Okay, so you can see that from 30th of Jan you have this data till 13th of June. So I am recording this lecture on 14th, so you have this data till 13th of June. Okay, so we need to decide which data we need to give, we want to give to our project. So first of all I am adding one column here. Okay, okay, I will tell you why I add this column, but before that you just find the first lockdown happened in the India on 22nd of March. So I am also taking the data from 22nd of March. Okay, for our project. So all the above data I just want to delete this data. Okay, because that data is unnecessary and I don't want to deal with this data. Okay, okay, so excess data is also affect on your efficiency of your model. That's why I'm not taking that data. Okay, so from 22nd of March your lockdown is applicable till now. So I want to give day to this dates. Okay, so that you will get idea how many days we have a lockdown. Okay, so like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you are getting again here date. So I change the format of this column. So format of this column is number, that to 0 decimal points. Okay, so now you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you just need to drag this till the end. Okay, so you can see here till 13th of June you having 84 days of lockdown. Okay, and now you want to predict what will happen after the 10 days. Okay, means what will be the scenario on 94th day of lockdown, or what will be the scenario of 104th day of the lockdown. Okay, so for that you did this numbering. Okay, so I am just changing the columns name. Here I am giving a day. Okay, here I am giving a daily cases name. So you can change these column names as per your convenience. Total cases. Okay, so you can give like this. You can give the column names like this. But again, I am refining this data. Okay, so you can see that our lockdown will happen, or you can say that unlocking. Okay, so you will get some relaxation after 3rd of May. Okay, so from 4th of May, the lockdown 3 is called by the government. So in that lockdown 3, you will get the maximum relaxation from the lockdown. Okay, so you can see that from May 3, the daily cases of corona got increased in a large number. Okay, in a large number, but during the lockdown you can find there is a very minimum growth in the daily cases. But in the lockdown also there are several factors also involved, like testing is not done that much in amount. Okay, so we need to take a data that is realistic, or that is the realistic in nowadays. Okay, so what I am doing now, I am just ignoring the data till lockdown 2. Okay, so I am not taking this data for our project. So I am taking a data from lockdown 3, that is called from the 4th of May. Okay, so that will give you the good result basically, because in the lockdown 1 and lockdown 2 you can find there is no any growth in the daily cases. Also the government is also not prepared on that on those days. Okay, so testing is very less and everything is very less. Okay, so that you are not getting a daily cases in huge number. Okay, that's why I am ignoring this data. So you just need to delete this data. Okay, so for your project, or you can say that for our project, we are using data from 4th of May onwards. Okay, from the day 44 of our lockdown. Okay, so from here also, here we are taking this data. Okay, you just need to save this data. I already saved this data in my computer, so that I don't want to save this again. Okay, so I am directly using my data. So for your project, let us start Jupyter notebook. Okay, so this is your Jupyter notebook. You just create a one new file for your project. Okay, so here I am creating a new file, that is COVID-19 India. This is my project file. This is my project file. So you can directly find the code here. I am just executing this code for you. Our data set is same as I already told you, whatever the data, how I prepared that data, and that data I am giving as the input to this code. Okay, so see here, first of all we need to import important Python libraries, that is NumPy and Pandas, because we need to create a data frame. Also we need to create an array and all these things, so that NumPy and Pandas library are must for our project. Okay, and for the machine learning model, we import the sklearn library. Okay, so scikit-learn, yeah, this is the very well famous library for a machine learning. So you import sklearn also. So from sklearn, here I am importing a linear model. Okay, so we are taking, or we are using an approach of linear regression. That's why linear model we need to import in our code. Okay, so let's run these lines. So in the first time it will take time to get run this two lines. Okay, next run this line also. Okay, Now upload your data. So how you can upload? So you first of all you need to upload your data in this Jupyter notebook. So you can easily upload your data from this upload button. Okay, so from this upload button you just access your data where you save that data and just click on open. So your data will get uploaded on this Jupyter notebook. Okay, after that you can directly use that data by you giving the name. Okay, so here I am reading this .csv file, and make sure that your data need to save in .csv file, because you are directly getting this function in the pandas library read underscore csv. So that will be the benefit for you. Okay, so here what I am doing now, data is equals to pd.read csv. Okay, so this is the code and I am reading this file here. Okay, just I want to run this line. Okay, so see this data. Okay, so we are taking a data from day 44 to day 84. Okay, and these are our the daily cases and these are our total cases. Okay, now what we need to do? Now we need to divide our data into x and y. Okay, so you know what is mean by x. X mean the independent values and y mean the dependent values. So in this data, the independent values is date, day, you can say. Okay, and dependent is daily cases. So we are taking day as a x values and daily cases as a y values. You can take total cases as a y values, but that will give a poor efficiency. That's why I am finding out just the daily cases. Means what is the number of cases after 10 days, not total number of cases on the next 10th day. What will be the cases on that particular day, that we need to predict. After that, by adding the numbers you can get total cases also. Okay, but here I am taking a day as a x value and daily cases as a y values. Okay, so here select here. So this is the capital X variable data, and then you are taking only a day. Okay, you are taking just a single parameter. That's why in the two-dimensional list you are just giving a one parameter. If you want to take a 2-second parameter also, you can take by giving the comma here. Okay, but we are generally not take such kind of data in the machine learning model. This data contain a number and string, so you need to, by the way, you need to convert this data into the number only, and then you can use this data. So instead of using this data, I am just giving the day of lockdown. Okay, so we are taking a data from 44th day of a lockdown to 84th day of a lockdown. Okay, so in the y we are giving a daily cases. Okay, so just run this line. Okay, now if you want to see the data of x, so see this data of x is from 44 to 84, and data of y is the number of cases on the 44th day and the number of cases on the 84th day. Okay, now you need to create a model. So for that, this is the syntax. You can easily see here. LM is equals to, LM means the model name, that I am creating this variable for the model name. Okay, then from the linear model you need to use a linear regression algorithm. Okay, so that's why I am writing linear model dot linear regression. Now for giving the input, you need to use this fit function. Okay, so by executing this fit function, your model will get learned. Okay, so lm dot fit, and you need to give x and y data to this fit function. Basically this fit function is accepting the independent values and the dependent values. So you are giving x and y data here. Okay, so just run this. So you are getting this kind of message. It means your model is ready to use now. Okay, now here I just want to predict a data after 84th day, means from 85th day to whatever the range you want to give. Like from 85th day to, I want the data till 100th day. Okay, 100th day of lockdown. So I create one array here x1. Okay, in that I am giving a range of the values which I want. So from 85th day to 100. So for giving the 100, taking the 100, I am just giving here 101. Okay, so this will create an array from 85 to 100 because last value is excluded. That's why you are getting array from 85 to 100. Okay, if you want to print this array, you just print this array. Okay, so this array is of from 85 to 100 as per our requirement, and 16 elements are there. Now you need to change this array to two-dimensional array. Okay, so for that we are using a reshape function. Okay, so in this reshape function you need to create what, because you have a 16 days, so 16 rows and one column you need to create. That's why I am using this function x1 dot reshape 16 comma 1. So it will create 16 rows of this number and the one column. So definitely 16 rows and one column, each row contain each data. Okay, just run this. Okay, if you want to see, you can see. Okay, see this. So you create this array, two-dimensional array by 85 to 100. Why I am doing this, because whatever the your model is expecting a two-dimensional array. Okay, for the input, because your x data is a two-dimensional. That's why your model is also accept a two-dimensional data. That's why I need to I need to change this one-dimensional array to two-dimensional array. Okay, now you want the predictions. Okay, so just use lm dot predict function, and in that you need to pass this x1 array. Okay, so that you will get the predictions. Just click here and then you will get the predictions also. Just click here. Okay, these are the predictions. Okay, now means you can see on the 85th day you can find 11,528 cases in India. On 100 day you can find 14,905 cases in India. So these are the predictions you are getting from your model. Okay, now I want to save this prediction in one Excel file so that we will get idea about the total cases, what will be the total cases after the 100 days. So that's why I am creating a data frame of this x1 values and the predictions. Okay, so using this syntax you can create a data frame. So I am giving a data frame name df2. Just print this data frame. Okay, for that I need to execute this line. So run that line. Okay, so see here you are getting the day values and the number of cases on that particular day. Got it? Now you save this data frame as a .csv. Okay, so to save this data frame to CSV, you need to use this syntax df2.csv, and you need to give the file name, that is covid predictions.csv. So you copied this data to this covid underscore predictions.csv file. Okay, now what I need to do, you just open this file from your directory. Okay, so where is that file? That file will get created after running this line. Okay, so first of all we need to run this line. Okay, so this line is executed. Now see, where is the file? COVID predictions. Okay, see this COVID predictions. Okay, so this is the file you got. So 14,905 cases on 100 days as per your code. Also on 100 day 14,905 cases. Okay, so what you need to do now, you just copy this data in your original file so that you can easily get you can easily do the comparison also. Okay, so what is your original file? This is the COVID data, is your original file. Okay, so this is your original file. You just paste those data after 84th day, and just copy the day also and paste here. Okay, so you can see that 85 on the 85th day you can having 11,528 cases. Okay, on 86th day 11,753 cases. Okay, so what I need to do now? Okay, so first of all you give the name also so that you can find easily. Okay, so we have a data till 29th of June. Okay, now what I need to do, you need to add this data. Okay, because you currently you are having a 3,21,631 cases, and after the 14 June you need to add this data to this. Okay, so for that you need to write a sum function, sum, and add this to this. Okay, and click on enter. Okay, so you can see on the 14th of June you will get 3,33,159 cases. Okay, just scroll this formula to new cells. Okay, now you can find on 20th June you will get 4,07,000 cases. On 22nd of June you can find 4,33,000 cases. On 29th of June you can find, okay, or you can expect, that is the very good uh, word to say, because you are doing a prediction, means you can expect 5,33,100 cases on 29th of June. So you are getting a prediction. Okay, so you are getting this prediction by looking at this trends. Okay, by looking at this previous data. Okay, so just move to this code again. Now if you want to see what is your model efficiency, okay, that is also need to check now. So for that what we are giving data. Okay, that is the existing data, and the existing means the correct value on that data, means on the 44th day we have 3,656 cases. Okay, so you can find 44 3,656. So I am giving the data, so just to find out the efficiency of a model, so I am giving the data in the 5 days interval. Okay, so on 44th day, 50th day, 55, 60, 65, 4, 70, 75, 80. This is the day and this is my original cases. Okay, so just use lm.score function. In that you need to give this days x2, and this score function automatically find out the predictions on these days, and it will compare those predictions with your original value of y. Okay, and after that you will get the score. Okay, so just run this line. Okay, and then run this line. So you can find that your model is having a efficiency 0.91%. Okay, so you are getting a efficiency more than 90%, means your algorithm is more suitable to finding out the predictions of COVID-19 in India. Okay, so you can do this project by your own, so that you will get idea how you can design a machine learning model for any use cases. So I will motivate you to do this kind of project for different countries, or you can do this project on the disease, whatever the disease will happen after the 10 days or 20 days. Okay, so guys, that's it from this video lecture. I hope you got the information how the machine learning works on the data, how you can perform the complete model for your daily. You got all the information about the machine learning, how the machine learning works, how you can do the code for the using of this kind of machine learning algorithm. Okay, so that's it. Okay guys, so do subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get such kind of lectures in future also. Thank you.